It feels like you've been working really hard, but now you want to play a little bit. That's the energy of the card. It's 12-12. I love when that happens. I've been summoned at an angel number. Okay, because I was seeing like the Queen of Pentacles, with like a lot of cups, like cup energy, but also temperance. So you're hardworking. You've been working hard for a really long time. But it feels like you've come to this place, and I'm seeing the Hanged Man. So this is the pause to reflect. You feel like you're deserving of something. Like something fun, exciting, playtime. Or something okay. It's like you want to do something that no one would ever expect you doing. That took a second to come in. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. You've always been the responsible one. That's what it is. They're bringing me back to the Queen of Pentacles. You've been the responsible one. You've been the one that's always shown up. You're the one people depend on and can, because you show up for others. But now you're like, yeah. You're wanting to like shift something dramatically in your life. Do it for the plot. It feels like you want to, I'm seeing like the Three of Wands, and I'm not just cups, but I'm feeling wands energy as well. It's like you want to explore yourself, your sensuality, a lover, foreign countries. You want to explore. You want to feel and experience and taste life with all of your senses. What? I love this. I love this shift in your energy because you've been working hard for a real long time. Ace of Wands. The Empress is on the bottom of the deck. I feel like you want to go on a little journey. And you're going to seize. It feels like you're in this place of like, I want to seize life. This is all a card of new passionate beginnings for yourself and exploring and seizing the opportunities, throwing caution to the wind. You've always been someone who plans, overthinks things. There's a tendency with a little bit of people pleasing and perfectionism. And there's this like, but underneath it, what you don't show others, and it's always been there. There's this like wild spirit about you that you cannot keep locked in a cage any longer. You are wanting to explore those depths that you may have been afraid to explore. You know what this is? Oh my God, they're bringing me like way into like your past, like when you were a teenager. You were a wild one. You were. And you possibly, maybe even, yes, possibly got in trouble. Then you completely changed. It was like you had this wild hair up your ass. You got in a little bit of trouble. You lived a little bit. It was also like maybe the groups that were around you at the time as well, right? But then you became very grounded. It was all about maybe school or work. It almost feels like in a way to make other people proud of you. It's a really weird energy, but You also wanted to show that you could be taken seriously. And maybe that was the issue. No one ever really took you seriously unless you were getting in trouble, right? But now you're like, I have kept this version of me like locked in for a really long time, and it's like dying to be released. Because that may have been some of the maybe one of the last times, or even into your early 20s, where you really felt alive. You did the family, the marriage, the job, but it feels like you've gone through a divorce, because the Six of Swords are here, and this is like the perfect timing where if you have kids, they could be a little older, so you're wanting to really experience the things that you really didn't get an opportunity to experience. You're breaking out. You're wanting to nurture yourself. And I also feel like you're really wanting to be nurtured, but also explore this really feminine side of yourself that maybe you have felt really out of touch with. And this is your thought process. So I guess with this message, because I'm getting long-winded, it feels like go for it. Go for it. Of course, protect yourself and do everything safely, but explore. Explore the lover. Explore a place that you've never gone. Eat the food you've never ate. Slow down for a little bit and live and breathe and feel your way through life. You need this. So what are you waiting for? I love you guys. Have a magical day. No one can extinguish your light. I have a new deck and I wanted to share. Look at the gilded edges. It's so beautiful. Look at the artwork. Especially if you're artistic, this could be for you. All right, Nine of Wands, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, and the Nine of Cups. You are the wounded healer, the empath, the looking glass, the mirror for others. You have persevered through chaos, and at times, even your own. You have survived. This one is a very different Queen of Cups than I've ever seen. And you see how her eyes are, you can't see her eyes. So this collective, you do not need physical sight. I mean, yes, of course you do, but you know, you have spiritual gifts. These are your spiritual truths. You lead with your heart and you are guided by your intuition. 444. You are fair and just, and you bring balance to relationships and situations. You are wise beyond your years. The Wheel of Fortune shows me, for you, the cycles of life that you have been through. You have been through so many ups and downs, and I would say for this collective, most of your life has been filled with instability, chaos, but it feels like you have evolved. That's what this is. It feels like you have evolved from someone who didn't understand the chaos that constantly surrounded you, and maybe even the internal chaos that you felt. It also feels like you didn't understand your spiritual gifts and your sensitivity to energies, especially like other people's energies, or what you feel and experience in situations or with other people or with animals. You're extremely sensitive. And this feels like a collective that you read energy, but it also feels like you have been very drawn to astrology, and maybe even like birth charts and psychology, because all you've ever wanted to do was to understand the things that have happened to you and the way you've been treated, because it feels like you aren't emotionally capable of treating others the way you've been treated, so you want to understand. That's that empath, that emotional depth and sensitivity that you have. And it feels like you have also felt very misunderstood. So you've been drawn to that for a very, I'm seeing like a very long time, but it feels like when you were a teenager, you really started diving into this. And currently it feels like you are entering into a new cycle, where it feels like it's the calm after the storm. And where I mentioned you are evolving, you, in this new cycle, you are leaving a situation or a relationship or an old career and job behind for a higher purpose. You are no longer hiding your gifts and your sensitivity with others. You have had to mask it for an extremely long time, but you know that you have a higher purpose. And you have known that since you were a very young child. Even though you didn't quite mentally grasp that concept, internally, intuitively, you've always known. You've always known. But this is also a collective that seems to be maybe a late bloomer, because you weren't in the environment, the family environment that nurtured gifts like this or even understood them. So you've also had to cut ties to some religious trauma as well. But I feel like you are ready. You are ready to live a better, fuller, more fulfilling life. The Nine of Cups. This is the cycle. Feeling self-fulfilled, feeling at peace, feeling happy. And I really feel like you are being provided for. It feels like the universe is providing you with everything that you need for this new cycle and your purpose, because you have a calling to serve humanity in this awakening. Especially with the feminine collective, the feminines are really waking up. There's a mass awakening occurring, and you are being called to step forward to lead and guide and to serve. And I also feel like the universe is also not just providing what you need for this next journey, but also bringing justice into your life. You are destined for greatness, and you have always known this, and you are going to be greatly served as you serve others. What a magical fucking message. I love it. I love this deck. I don't know how to say it. Oh God. Ethereal. I got it on Amazon. But stunning, 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 stunning. Just like you. I love you so much.